Hello everyone, today I'm going to try to challenge myself and try to build the Dune Ornithopter in 1 minute, 10 minutes, and 1 hour because I think there's going to be a new Dune movie, the part 3, which is launching this December. Yeah, this video is gonna be interesting. Alright, so I have my timer on the top right corner so you guys will be able to see how much time I've spent. I actually have to go into the menu here to start the timer, but alright, here we go. And I'm kind of panicking, I don't know what to do. I just picked a seat, then I had to look at the reference image and realize that I only have 1 minute. I don't have enough time. And then I just added some blocks there to make kind of a body, I guess. And an ornithopter isn't an ornithopter without the flapping mechanism. So here I'm trying to figure out what to use, and I decided to opt on using these steering hinges, which I then took the controls out because I was going to use a logic gate. And then I realized that I only have one layer right now. I need to make another layer of the flapping mechanism. I decided to use the long helicopter blades, which looked very cursed, I should say. I haven't even added the controls yet, so I just have a ornithopter. You can't even call this an ornithopter, it's just a seat with some helicopter blades. Okay, now time for the 10-minute one. I did pretty much the same thing as the first one, where I just spammed a bunch of 2x2 blocks. But this time it's actually proportionate to the seat, I think. I just did the same thing as the first one for the wings, but this time I used the normal helicopter blades instead of the long one. I used 2 OR logic gates to make the flapping motion. This one I actually searched up a tutorial on YouTube before this, so that's why I know how to do this. It took me a minute to fine tune it. It still isn't working properly, but I decided to focus on the other parts of the ornithopter before I went back to the mechanism again. You can tell that I'm not very good at aesthetics because I've already taken almost 2 minutes just to make this back part. I then spent another minute trying to make this little cockpit part in the front. I took another minute to add some gyros to this thing. I spent the last 3 minutes adding thrusters and gimbal jets. I also painted it up. And here is the 10-minute ornithopter. I mean, it almost works properly, but it is very hard to control. Okay, now it's time for the 1 hour version. Yep, this is gonna be fun. I chose the operator seat because in the picture, the seat inside the ornithopter looks like this one. Now I already spent like 30 minutes on just making the cockpit. I originally wasn't going to make this a big build, but now that I've finished making the cockpit, I realized that this might be another max complexity build. Why does this always happen to me? I spent like 12 more minutes making the back part of this one. I tried to make it the most accurate as I could, but it's very hard to get the exact shape that I want. Like, I want to put a block here, but if I just put a normal block, it's too tall. But if I put a panel here, it's too short. There's not really a half block I can use. And here where I want to put this air intake in the middle, but I cannot because it's too big. But I don't want to be that guy, so let's just move on with the build. For the flapping parts, I use the rounded wedge corners to try to make a circle. And I use a wedge piece in between so that there's going to be a center block where I can attach the wings. For the flapping itself, I use the same mechanism as the 10-minute one. I also added the legs of the ornithopter, which took me a very long time because I couldn't figure out how not to make it flip backwards all the time. I actually managed to get the legs working with only 3 minutes left on the clock. And I used that time to add gyros and space thrusters, which I put the wrong way here actually, so I have to fix that. I managed to flip them and paint them all with 1 minute left on the clock. I then realized that I forgot to place the gimbal jets, so that's why right now I'm speedrunning placing them all. I was gonna add more gimbal jets, but well, the time ran out, so. This is the final result of the 1 hour build. I mean, this one kinda needs a bit of speed to take off, but it still manages to take off, barely though. And this is also accidentally the best suspension that I've ever made. Anyway, that's it for this video. Don't forget to subscribe so you guys can see more cool videos. Okay, bye!